I don't think I need to explain anything for Dr. Roberts, right? I think he's a good man who, I don't think he's necessarily apologized for the statement. I think he stood by the fact that we should not engage in cancel culture. I mean, who's to tell a guy like Tim who we can and can't have on a show like this, right? Like that's not our role. And I think, one of the things that was occurring, and, Kevin talked about this on Dana Loesch, I think the day after he put out the statement, was there are people behind the scenes that are trying to do that are trying to tell people who you can and cannot platform, right? And try to police speech. I mean, maybe that post-World War II liberalism sentiment like prevails in some circles, but like those of us who are like actually conservatives and trying to conserve the ideals of the American founding, like one of those is primarily free speech. And when there's bad ideas, you hash them out and you point out what's bad about them, and then you point out what's good, right? And you redirect people towards what's correct. And I think, President Trump put that in his own way the other night. Like, I think Tate was recognizing that. I mean, like, President Trump said himself, why would I tell Tucker Carlson who he can or can't have on a show? And I mean, ironically enough, you want to talk about who's on people's shows. I mean, nobody was freaking out when Patrick Bet-David had Nick Fuentes on his show like a month before, right? That doesn't mean that like everyone's endorsing Nick Fuentes' ideas.
Just to play devil's advocate here, the thing about Tucker Carlson is that I know he can be a great journalist when he chooses to do so, but for some reason he chooses to pick and choose who he uses kids' gloves with. So, for example, when he was going at Ted Cruz, he made sure to have every question set up and ready to go. Some people would argue that he threw a lot of softballs to Nick and was using this opportunity to kind of hedge around his edges.
And could the difference be senator versus random internet guy?
Sure. I think he's more than a random internet guy. Just have you heard that? And what do you think of somebody arguing things like that?
Have I heard that people think he put on kids' gloves?
Yeah,
I mean, I think that's plainly like thrown out into the internet ether, and that's a conversation. I think, what Tim's saying, Ted Cruz is a presidential candidate. Tucker Carlson is interviewing some random internet guy with an internet following. There's no reason to make excuses or arguments for why Tucker did what he did or didn't do, right? All of that's up to Tucker, right? And Tucker, at the end of the day, it's his show, how he performs it and how he does it. Like, either his viewership will decline or it will increase based upon what he does. And like, who am I, some random guy in America, to be like, Tucker, don't do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's not going to care what I think, and he doesn't need to care what I think, right? If I don't want to watch it, I'm not going to watch it.
Yeah, with infighting like this, do you think the MAGA coalition is sustainable?
I think it has to be. I think if not, then you lose 28 and you go to the gulags.